Begin in a supine position with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Let's do a figure 4 stretch by taking the left ankle onto the right thigh, just below the right knee, and you're going to externally rotate through the left hip. You might already feel the stretch right here, and that's great if you do. You might also use a little bit of pressure on your left thigh with the left hand to increase the stretch that you feel in the left hip. And if your body's still asking for more, you could take both hands behind the right thigh, interlacing the fingers, or you might prefer holding on to the front of the right shin. Either one. You can also place a strap behind the right thigh. That's another option. And remember, you want to feel the stretch in the external rotators of the left hip, so not up in the knee. If you do feel the stretch or discomfort in the left knee, you might not want to pull your right thigh in so far. You can also flex the left foot by drawing the left toes back toward the knee. That can help to stabilize the knee joint. And then just find that enjoyable stretch as you draw the right thigh toward the abdomen, pausing at any first point of resistance that you may feel in the left hip. And again, feel free to have that option to press your left elbow into the left thigh to open the hip a little bit more. Sometimes just a finger on the thigh, that light pressure can be enough. And then when you're ready to switch sides, you can lower the right foot down and then the left. And for the next side, we'll cross the right ankle onto the left thigh. Again, find your position for your hands that's right for you today. Just keeping the spine long and neutral. You might need to have some cushioning underneath your head. And this is a great stretch for the piriformis muscle, which is one of the 6 external rotators of the hip. It's going to help us prepare for poses like tree or warrior 2, where we need that external rotation of the hip. If you like to sit cross-legged on the floor for meditation, this is a good one to do regularly. The piriformis attaches on the sacrum and the outside of the hip, that greater trochanter. Just try to invite your breath into that area of the buttock. And then when you feel like you've held the stretch long enough, you can return back to a comfortable supine position. You can also do figure 4 from a seated position. You would have your feet flat on the floor in front. Your hands can be behind you, fingers pointing toward the feet or away. And all you're going to do is lean back so that you can get that ankle up onto the opposite thigh and externally rotate from there. Now, the more you walk your hands in toward your hips, the more you'll feel the stretch. So don't overdo it. Be gentle and kind with yourself, but the closer you bring your spine to vertical or your abdomen toward your thigh, the more you'll feel the stretch. If you'd like to try figure 4 seated in a chair, have your feet hip width apart, ankles underneath the knees, and then take one ankle up onto the opposite thigh. Again, make sure the movement's happening in the hip, not in the knee joint. And then you might feel the stretch already from this position. You might add a little bit of pressure on the thigh or start to hinge forward from the hips. And as you lean forward, you'll probably feel the stretch even more. So please enjoy this piriformis stretch in any position of your choice.